First of all, first and foremost, can you hear us all right? Can you see us all right?
That light's a bit aggressive. That's better.
Are we're on?
Why is someone asking how the weather is?
They're not, they're just
right.
chatting while we're on.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, I was like, were they on the wrong one?
If anyone's there and they can see me and hear me, happy to wait, but it's supposed to start now. Yeah, we're here. Hello everyone. How's it going? Brumsgrub, can you hear me all right? Can you see me okay? Right, working well. Hello, Christopher Griffiths. Perfect, that's what I wanted to say. Rob, Landlocked Sea Fishing UK. I wasn't expecting that much from everyone. I put some questions out on Instagram and on Facebook. I just say if anybody's got any questions they want to ask, I'll get through them first. I was absolutely mobbed. Literally, I've got like 5 pages worth. There was quite a lot that doubled up, so we will get to those first. First of all, I will introduce you to my lovely wife. For those that don't know, this is Mrs. FishLocker. They say behind every great man is an even greater woman. Well, I would say behind every good fisherman there is a very understanding wife. This is mine. On Instagram, David, just called David, he just asked what was my favourite species. I've said this quite a few times. I don't have one. I don't have just one favourite. I love them all. There are some that I enjoy catching more than others. Like say for instance, dogfish. I wouldn't class it as being one of my favourite species, but I still like catching them. They're better than catching nothing. There are some that just look stunning, like a male cuckoo wrasse. They just brighten up your day anytime you see one of them. So that's got to be one. Shark species. I really enjoy shark fishing. Yeah, I love them all. Not just UK, but I've been lucky enough to be across the world, and I've found fantastic fish all over the place. Like there was one that I tried to catch when I was in Tenerife, and it's called a cleaver wrasse, and they're just weird. I mean, if you get the chance to Google it, cleaver as in like a meat chopping cleaver, a cleaver wrasse. Yeah, weird. They've got teeth that are like, and a bright peach, and got a real bull-nosed head. Anyway, Paddy, what do you use to find the wrecks that you fish on? Right, this was asked 4 or 5 times by different people. I've explained it in other videos, and I have got videos kind of showing you. For people that have got a boat, got their own boat, and you've got any electronics, there is a video on the channel that is how to use a GPS and fish finder. People have said they found that really helpful. That's on how to. That's when you know the rough area. The lat long of a lot of wrecks, even on apps like Wreck Finder or Navionics and all them, they're never exact. Sometimes, like the GPS is out slightly, or wrecks do move sometimes. You can generally get yourself within a 100-yard area. There is a video on the FishLocker Workshop channel and on the FishLocker on the FishLocker channel that's how to anchor a wreck. That shows you how to map a grid out and find it. I would say that I'd put in 2 or 3 hours every month finding out new wrecks, and I cross-reference things like Wreck Finder apps, diving sites, Navionics, all that type of stuff, until I find one that I think's worth a look, and then it's down to purely legwork. You just got to go out there and find it. Sometimes you'll find a wreck on a chart and you'll go out there and it won't even be there. It'll be covered over with sand. You won't know for definite until you get out there and try. Mitchell, any places in the UK that you would like to fish? That brings me on to, I'm finding this really difficult. The camera's the other way around and I'm having to look down here rather than over there.
Oh, I thought you'd want it near
No, it's completely spun me round.
Do you want me to flip you over?
I am planning. We have quite a few big plans coming with the FishLocker. I am looking at upgrading my boat. I've been mentioning this for a while, and I don't like talking about it while I've got a boat. It's like talking about getting a new car and your car starts going wrong. My boat, I love my boat. It's caught me some fantastic fish. I have some great time with it, but it's not quite big enough. James is getting bigger. We're wanting to do more trips as a family, and also I'm wanting to go further. So I'm looking at upgrading the boat. When I do that, I am going to be doing like a fishing road trip. I'm going to be taking the boat all over the UK, Ireland, maybe even Europe, and we will be trailering the boat around and we will be going on fishing in different places. At some point in time, when things are safer with most places, with COVID and all that, I will put some questions out and I will ask people to recommend places that they've been to, that they know, that they live nearby, that you think would be worth a look, and we will create a road trip and we'll go from there. So yeah, without saying too much, that's the plan.
Can we just do that before these people go to bed?
Right, Gabby and McNamara, can we say hi to Brooke, Kaylee and...
Casey, sorry.
Kaylee? Casey?
Casey.
Casey,
I'm writing.
right. Brooke, Casey and Shani.
Hi! Go to bed.
Now, yeah, go to bed. Dan, next target after the John Dory. Well, my next target after a John Dory was an undulate ray. Boom, got it. I was amazed. We don't get them in our local area, so I'd kind of thought to myself, I'm going to have to make a dedicated effort to go and get one. So I did, and I did. That was amazing.
Someone already wants to buy your old boat when you find the new one.
All right, well, we'll see. We might hold like a silent auction. Possibly a thresher. I saw a couple of them this year. I had a couple of half-hearted efforts at going and getting them, but yeah, thresher shark possibly. Carol, favourite seafood to eat? I get asked this a lot. I like a lot of seafood. My favourite breakfast is smoked poached haddock. I love scallops, I love lobster. We've had some fantastic fish. We've got a really nice catch and cook coming up over the weekend. And John Dory was delicious, but I think that was because it was such a special fish as well. We don't catch them very often. I didn't catch them very often, definitely. But yeah, a lot. And I like fish and chips. It's underrated, isn't it? I like fish and chips.
You like anything if it's with chips.
Yeah, I do. I would quite happily eat chips twice a day, all day, every day. Graham, Christmas is coming. Any ideas for gadgets on the boat? Gadgets on the boat, that's a little bit too specific because I know that we do have quite a lot of people that follow the channel that have their own boat or that fish from boats. Those are in the minority. What we do have, and what I am pleased to be able to announce, is shirts like the Pinchy Thanos one that you see, or like the jellyfish one that Hannah's wearing, or the John Dory ones, the things on the T-Mill site. There is a period coming up at the start of December. Amazing fishing. Thank you very much, mate. Oh yeah. All right. Well, yeah. That's one way of doing it, I suppose. Thank you.
Okay, you're half
Thank you.
offender.
Thank you for the donation, mate. Yeah. On the T-Mill store, there is a weekend coming up at the start of December. As soon as it's finalised, I will let you know. There is free postage. I hope that helps out. Also, I don't know if I've been having people contacting me off the back of the videos. In the videos, I use a Leatherman, and I on a scalloping one the other day, Hannah got me an Opinel for shucking scallops, and I use a canteen, and there's a couple of other things that I use. It turned out that this is one of them real weird coincidences. Castanet, amazing mate, thank you. I hope you're getting on well with the drone. He sent me some great videos of him practicing with his drone inside of his house. Yeah, I got contacted by somebody and he said, my family really enjoy your videos. By the way, I work with this company. I see that you're already using some of our products. It was his family that said, oh yeah, by the way, they're using your stuff. So he contacted me and he said that he would be able to offer me a discount code for all my subscribers. I will post that up in the comments. I'll pin it to the top of the comments in this video, but that has things like Leathermans, filleting knives, the canteens that I use, camping equipment. There is all sorts on there. Opinel knives. There are some great ones on there. I'm buying one or two for friends and family members, like Leathermans as Christmas presents. If you are unsure of what to get your dad possibly, or what to get your husband, or anything like that, even just a treat for yourself, I will put the link up and have a look. I hope it helps. Barry, what rod for Mackie on the boat? I have a video on the FishLocker workshop channel where I have, perch rock fishing. Thank you very much, mate. I'm coming to you in a minute. I'm glad I've seen that. Timothy O'Connor, hi, we love your videos. We are potentially moving from the US to northern France. Is there a good ferry to use? Ooh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the nearest decent place that gets ferries from France might be like Portsmouth, Southampton, that type of place. Send us a message. I'll try and Google that and find out for you. Colin Erickson, thank you very much for the donation. That is amazing, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the shirts. Rods for Mackie off the boat. What's that?
Someone's asking if I've ever slapped you with a wet fish. Have I? I feel like I probably have.
She knocks me about a bit. Mackie from the boat. There is a video on the FishLocker Workshop channel where I review the Ugly Stick GX2 range, and that's a Shakespeare's. Now they're great value for money. They're cheap. They're robust. I have snapped a few. In one of the skate fishing videos, I do snap a 30-50, but it's a 30-50 and it was a £200 skate. I use personally a 12 to 20 Ugly Stick GX2. They're perfect. Good bite detection, double over, and if I marry mine up with a Daiwa Slosh 30, although there are other ways you can marry them up. You can marry them up with a decent sized fixed bowl like a Pen Clash or a Pen Affinity or something like that. Or no, I'm saying the wrong word. It's not a Pen Affinity. Spinfisher. I have a Spinfisher. There's also a review on the channel of that where I use it on a boat sometimes for feathering. Dylan, what's the biggest cod you've ever caught? Dylan, from the shore, probably about £10. From the boat, 25 to 30. I used to do an awful lot of cod fishing when I was younger. I don't do so much of it now. The only cod that I really catch down here in Cornwall are flukes, while I'm fishing for something else. What's that?
I caught a fluke one, didn't
No, when we went fishing at Isle of Wight, you smashed it.
I? No, the one I caught in Falmouth.
Oh, yeah.
When we were like in
first
fishing
ever
for
codling.
bullheads.
Yeah, with Hannah actually, she used to be a freelance writer for Sea Angler magazine. She had an article published where we fished with Ray McLaren on Oberon. He's now got a boat called Indy, fishes out of Gosport, and we went cod fishing down in the Solent, and there was about 10 lads on there. It's one of the first trips that Hannah's ever done, and they're all looking at her going, "What are you bringing her for?" And I was like, "Just wait and watch." Yeah, she outfished everybody. She had 2 double-figure cod, and everybody else caught like pouting and whiting. So yeah, even back then you were out fishing, mate.
And I caught a ray when we were supposed to be
Yes, you
catching
did. You
cod.
caught
and
a
you hadn't
spotted ray.
ever caught one, had you?
No.
No ray at all, ever.
No.
And we went cod fishing and I got one.
For all the people that ask me sometimes, why is Hannah not out fishing with you today? This is why. Right. Is that Donegal? Like, first time we're going to go.
maybe.
Right. What's your favourite memory of being out on the ocean? I would say definitely when Hannah and I first started seeing each other and I found out that her dad had an oyster pond. I was like, oh, right, definitely. No electronics or anything on it, just like a rowboat. And I took me and her out and we had like 300 fish. I looked at some navionics, I looked at some Admiralty charts and I looked at some areas where I thought looked fishy. Took some line of sight bearings, lined up 2 headlands and like a set of trees on top of a hill. And we had 300 fish. Mackerel, pollock, whiting, pouting, gurnards, dogfish, the lot. And we saw some whales as well, didn't we?
Yes.
That was it.
And it was really hot and sunny.
Yeah.
Someone's asking if we've ever fished this wreck in Ireland. I'm not going to write it down because we haven't done any sea fishing in Ireland, have we?
No, I haven't. No, well, sea fishing, yeah, we've done some shore fishing, but that was, yeah. We went on holiday to Wexford a while back when James was only little, and yeah, did a bit of shore fishing, but that was it. Jack, ever going to go to the Sillies? That will be part of the road trip.
Although it's not really road, is it?
No. Well, I suppose I'll be trailering the boat for a while, won't I? Matt, which of your UK PBs do you want to break the most? Oh, I don't know. I'll think on that. I'll come back to you. I've got quite a few PBs that are just pathetic. Like my perch PB is like £1.
Yeah, someone's just, this is a gaming chair, but no, we don't game. This is just the office chair. It's comfy and I like that I can...
Emily.
balance on it.
Right, Emily, they're in New York, aren't they?
Yeah, I think
Right.
so.
Yes. Addison wants to know if you can remember the length of your first fish. My first ever proper fish, I've got a picture of it on the FishLocker Facebook page. It was actually a picture that was on our wedding invite. That's how cool we are. I was like 4-year-old, and if we'd have weighed it, it would have been like a contender for the British record for the short spine sea scorpion. It was bullhead, and it was like 2.5 pound. It was a monster, and I caught it on an orange twine hand line, fishing from our wooden cobble when we were fishing off Upgang, off Whitby. It was my first ever fish, and my dad tied a little rope around its tail, and I was walking down the street with it like that, swinging it round and just clarting everybody up with it. I was proud as punch. So yeah, it would have been about 12 inches long, and yeah, I was over the moon. Cornish crayon, what waterproof torch do you use? I'm assuming that you mean for diving. I've got a couple. The little yellow one that you see in the videos is Princeton Tech, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a little Princeton Tech one. It's good. It's cracking. It's only small, fits in your pocket. Tech's like double A's or something like that. It's a good one. Daniel from Nova Scotia. Do we catch Atlantic cod? Now, the species of cod between Atlantic cod, North Sea cod, Pacific cod, they're all kind of the same. They're part of the cod family, but there are variations in it. I hope that answers your question. Matt, who designs your t-shirts and hoodies? We designed the basic logo for the channel and all of the designs like this. The Pinchy Thanos one and a few of the other ones right at the start. Name is Lynn. This is for little James to get a few Kinder eggs. Daddy said it's too cold for ice cream. Enjoy, James. Thank you very much, Lynn. That's very kind of you. Yeah, when we were first thinking about doing the clothing, William Collett, thank you very much for the donation, mate. That's amazing. Thank you. Really, thank you very much. This is overwhelming. Yes, the clothing. When I decided that we were going to go with T-Mill, we put some posts out there and we said, anybody got any ideas for designs that you would like to see on clothing that you would like to wear? And some people sent me some ideas, some mock-ups that they'd made their own. And all I did was I took them and I drew them out how I thought would make like a decent design. Like 2 or 3 people sent this type of picture with a lobster in a bucket with Brittany. So we went from there, or that was it. Yeah, we have either designed completely or had a hand in the design of all of them. Now T-Mill, they do have their own kind of designers. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll knock up a drawing and I'll send them a picture and I'll just like, can you make something like that up? Because they're better at drawing than I am and I've got more time than I have. So if any of you have any ideas or if you have any suggestions what you would like to see on a shirt, send it to me and I'll see if we can make it. I mean, some designs are too intricate to print onto a t-shirt, but yeah, we never know. A lot of people have been asking for a Gurnard t-shirt. I don't know, what are your views on that? Would you like to see a bright red Gurnard t-shirt? I like a Gurnard. Kerno, what's the furthest you've been in the Orkney? Right, I also had that question on the Facebook page as well. Let me just double check that, see if it's the same guy. Kelvin Brown, are you Kerno? You've asked it both on Insta and Facebook. What's the furthest you've gone in the Orkney? The sharking trips. Right, there we go. Sorry about that. Someone tried phoning us while we're living. Yeah, the sharking trips, I was 25 to 30 mile off. Some people would consider that as being dangerous. Nicholas Braden, thanks for answering my question. FishLocker Lady Love. How is it feeling? How's it being married to a badass? Are they asking you? I think she's saying... You're a badass? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, she will tell you it's a barrel of laughs from start to finish. It's never a dull moment in our house. Badass. We keep getting stopped it straight now. People, we're walking past a couple of builders this morning when we were in town, and they were just going, oh, it's him. So, no. Ian Chappell, thank you very much. I'm actually, will be making James his own one. What have you read now? Is there any chance I could show you my lure box? I hope that's not a euphemism. No, I only read the first line. I'm sorry, Jamie. Right. It's a real question. As for the Orkney, yeah, 25 to 30 mile off, but you have to pick the right conditions. Just go with what you're comfortable with. Also, when you're going that distance, you need to have contingency plans in place. Like, I've got a friend who's got a charter boat, And whenever I'm going offshore like that, I'll contact him and I'll say, look, mate, I'm going to be starting my drift here. I'm going to be drifting this way for this length of time. I'll give you a call on the radio so someone knows. So if something goes wrong, they at least know where I am, what length of time I'm going to be there for. So if I don't show up, they know, right, well, at least he started here, so we'll be drifting that direction. They know where to look for me. You need to, if people take away only one thing from the videos, I hope it is you need to be safe. I mean, we love what we're doing. I love that people want to do what we're doing too, but you need to understand that there are dangers involved and you need to be safe with it. To start off with, when we had our Orkney 414, it was only a smaller one. We only used to go 4 or 5 miles from shore. I mean, then one time I took it off sharking and it was too much for the little boat. I mean, I took it 15 mile off. And in a 14-foot fiberglass with a 15 horsepower on the end, it was too much for it. And I'd go with what you're comfortable with and know what your capabilities are and the boat's capabilities are. We would hate to be able to see on the news that we've lost one of the angling crowd. Is that metric war? Would you rather fight? Oh, right, this one was a good one. Metric war. Would you rather fight one Thanos-sized Pinchy Thanos or 10 Pinchy Thanos-sized Thanoses? For people who don't know, Pinchy Thanos was a massive lobster. I think that I would rather fight one Thanos-sized Pinchy Thanos. At least then I'd possibly be able to get on its back. Whereas if it was 10 little ones, 10 little Thanoses, it would be a nightmare. So yeah, a big lobster, mate. Tommy Smith, advice for new shore anglers. By the way, did you manage to share that onto the Facebook page?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Advice for new shore anglers. If you look back onto our earlier videos, like the earliest shore fishing videos we did, most of them were aimed at the anglers who are wishing to learn. I go into an awful lot of the kit, the baiting up techniques, the rigs. All of the rigs are also demoed on a how-to video on the FishLocker workshop channel. So there are the rig videos on the FishLocker workshop channel. I do tackle reviews on there and look at the earlier, like even some of them are called fishing for beginners, like shore fishing for beginners. There are 3 or 4 on the beach, 2 or 3 on the rocks. One of them's got a thumbnail of me holding a thornback and a codling. They're aimed at the anglers just starting out. Spearfishing Cornwall. Do you prefer spearfishing or fishing? I've covered this quite a lot. I don't actually do spearfishing. I just do like the snorkeling, diving side of it. What am I looking at?
A question that they sent on a sticker.
Right. Who was that? Sorry. Are those
Ken.
2 recent ones?
No, but there was a question with one of them, so I wrote it down.
Right. We've got Ken. Right. Ken Watanabe. Any plans to collaborate, go fishing with other YouTubers? Yes, I already have collaborated with 1 or 2 people. Some of them didn't work out too well in it. They were going to come down here and fish with me, and I was either stuck doing something or weather came up. We had planned on collaborating with Joe PK, who does some fantastic diving stuff. We've collaborated with His Outdoors, CJ Fishing, Joe Wrigley, who's sea fishing only. Right, I'll come to that one in a minute. What was the other one from Angling in Ireland? If you're ever up in Northern Ireland, make sure you call in for a cuppa and keep up the good work. From Mickey Holmes. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the donations, YouTube. That was really kind. I'm missing them here, aren't I? Right, what's this one? Right, David Wills, sorry. I love the plant walks you do. Can you please use the Latin names sometimes? Right, I have been putting the Latin names of a lot of the species in there because yeah, sometimes it's confusing. So there's not only is my accent sometimes confusing, but yeah, there can be a common name that's a common name for something else. So I do put the Latin names in. David, thank you for the donation, and I will endeavour to do that again.
That one.
Right. Stu P&E. Hi, John and Hannah. John, what's your personal experience regarding wind direction? Does it depend where you fish? I would say, as for the wind blows east, the fish bite least. Yes, in my area, yes, that's true. But that's just because an easterly causes the bay to get really, really stirred up. It blows right in and stirs all the water up. So yes, when the wind's in the east, the fish bite least. Not only that, but you can't get out fishing. I would say that of all the weather conditions, it's the wind that stops us more than anything else. Put up with a bit of rain, put up with a bit of cold. the wind will stop me more than anything else. I'm trying to find that other one. Right, got you. I'm sorry about this, but I've just come in too fast. Yeah, got to them. Right, we're up to date. Sorry, we just had a blast through of messages come through, and I wanted to make sure I got to them all. For everyone who's made a donation to the channel, really thank you very much. The super stickers, the donations, I really do appreciate it. That's amazing. Thank you again. What's the motor upgrade you're planning to get? I've decided on that. It would depend on what type of boat I get. I'm undecided yet as to which make of boat I'm going to go with. I've always gone with Orkneys, but there are a lot of boats out there, and I am speaking to a lot of small boat owners, pros, cons, that type of thing. I might try and make a video that shows the process that we've gone through.
Did you see that one?
Yes, that shows the process that we'll go through to choose a boat. Now, yeah, I don't know if everyone's going to find that interesting, but hopefully it might help other people when they're choosing their boats. If I can speak to other anglers and other boat owners, I can maybe get them to give us some of their own experiences. Let me know if you think that'll be a decent video, if people would enjoy seeing that. If it's not so much that there's not a lot of people, I might just put it on a workshop channel instead. That way anybody who wants to find it can find it on there. Yeah, as for the spearfishing, we don't really do an awful lot of spearfishing. Mainly because we prefer to fish catch and release, and I'll take select fish, whereas you can't catch and release when you've speared it. But I love me diving. I'm never going to stop doing that. Actually, I've just recently, it's just healed up actually, I perforated my eardrum, trying to dive down to retrieve some lost crab pots. So yeah, I've not been in the water for a while. It was one of the, I will come on to that with the safety aspect of it as well. People who are into diving, there is a course that's going to be run by spearfishing.co.uk. They are running like an introduction to spearfishing. It's not free diving because they try and push you to your limit. This is going to teach you like safe diving habits. I did the pilot course and tried to help them out with a little bit of what I thought as having a little bit of experience, but also wanting to learn more. I would say definitely that of all the years that I've been diving, that when that went was the scariest. And it did shake me up a little bit. I mean, I was smart enough in the fact that I'd anchored the boat up and I'd tied a rope to myself, and Hannah was in the boat. But I got down to about 15 metres and I just heard this whining, and all of a sudden it just went pah! And it was almost like being in a washing machine. You know when you're that drunk that you've got to hang on when you're laid down? I was just like that. I couldn't even see the surface. Managed to try and get myself up to the surface. When I got up there and I was tied to that rope, I was just like, just pull me in. When I finally got back to the boat, I had to wedge my hand inside the steering cables just to hold myself still, because my head was just going like this all over the place. It took me about 20 minutes before I was right. And even then, like when I've been sat in boat for half an hour afterwards, I was still messed up because it messed up my inner ear. Right, Lepierre's, thank you very much for the donation. What is your best tasting fish, shellfish ever? Mine was monkfish in Beijing. I did cover that at the start of the live. You might have missed it if you're a late joiner. But John Dory would definitely be the best tasting fish that I've ever had. I love scallops, lobsters, langoustines, that type of thing. Yes, my wife does have beautiful eyes. That was just come up from Rich. You might have missed that one.
I'm not down there yet.
Hogan Wilkie, what's better, Whitby or Cornish crab? I think, actually, I used to be very biased, and I think that everything that, because I was from Whitby, everything that came from Whitby was the best, including the people. How wrong I was.
Never thought that.
I probably really offended people from Whitby. That was a joke. They'll get it. People from Whitby have got a sense of humour. They've got to have a sense of humour. Come from Whitby. I used to think that crab and lobster from there was the best, same with the fish. I think it must be the cleanliness of the water down here in Cornwall, because the crab and the lobster down here tastes amazing. Actually, for any of you that might have missed, because there was a problem with YouTube, and not my last video, but the video before, where I went and I purchased a lobster with a donation from the channel from a market, and I took it to a lobster hatchery, showing you around that fish merchants down there, showing you the care of the catch for the lobsters, the crayfish, the scallops, the mussels, the oysters, and all that sort of stuff. That shows you what it's like down there. It is amazing. We might get a crayfish. I was hoping to catch one, but I didn't catch one. We might get a crayfish at some time for like a special occasion. We might. What's
We
this?
watched that, didn't we? Was that those cute people?
Right, did we see travel trolls mentioning you? Which one? Were they foraging on a beach and they mentioned us?
Was that the husband and wife?
Yeah, that's Mazzy and is it? Oh God, Mazzy's the lady, and I can't remember his name. I thought it was Danny and Mazzy.
They were so cute.
Yeah, if you're watching, yeah, give us a shout. We might end up collaborating with you. We might bump into you somewhere along the road. Chroma Crab is not the best. Yes, Hannah is my oldest daughter. That was really strange. We have a teenage daughter. We have a 15-year-old daughter.
She'll be 15 next week.
Yeah, I like that. She's not in an awful lot of videos because we're not cool enough to hang around with. But people either think that Hannah is my daughter or that our daughter is my wife, or yeah, it gets confusing. But yeah, as you can imagine, a 15-year-old loves loves being compared to her mother. John, do you ever target squid and cuttlefish specifically for eating? There is a video coming up. I will say no more than that. ECH Fossils asking about a peer fishing rod in Whitby, and have I ever been fossil hunting in Whitby? Right, I will keep hold of that one. As for the fossil hunting in Whitby, there is a video on the channel where I go coastal exploring in Whitby, 2 different ones. Hannah, I've done some, there we go.
Stop touching
It's my
stuff.
fat fingers. There is a video on the channel already where I go coastal exploring around Whitby and I go fossil hunting. As for a fishing rod for fishing for mackerel purely on the pier, I would go and speak to Dan Proberts at the tackle shop on Church Street, and I would get a combo rod and reel. If all you're going to do is a bit of mackie bashing, he'll sort you out with a combo rod and reel. Usually you can get the rod, the reel, the line and a couple of spinners for like 20-25 quid. Jonathan Sanchez, thank you very much for the donation. Greetings from Florida. As a non-fisher, I am blown away constantly by your family-friendly what is it doing? Your family-friendly knowledge and John's ability to mess everything up with his really fat fingers. And your wholesome content.
Right, there's been 2 more.
Thank you very much. We are simply sharing what we love doing and what we know.
Paulie Lobster.
Paulie Lobster road trip. Awesome, mate. Thank you very much for the donation. And Sean, is it Sean McKean? Sean Mackin? Hi guys, I'm in Belfast and fish the coast regularly, but never able to back. All that was actually, Hannah and I both donate blood. That was them calling us, trying to get more blood out of us. Right, 1 second. Steam Funk, please don't use language like that on here. If somebody does something or says something that you think deserves that type of language, maybe just say it to yourself. That brings me on to one thing actually, is on the videos in the comments section, if you see any of those, I'm going to be quite generic here and I'm going to say it's usually a scantily clad woman that's saying, oh, I miss you, do you love me? One of them spam ones. Report it, block it, give it some stick, because they're spamming everybody. And there's a couple of other channel owners that I know that are getting spammed by them as well. If you see any of them coming up and I've missed them, or if you get to them before me, just report them, please, because they're spoiling it for everybody, aren't they? What we got? What are you laughing at now? I had no idea you were using your last name as part of the channel. Such a fitting name. Right, there were a couple of. I'm just scrolling it back because when it was buffering, there was a few comments come through.
I'm just going through them now. You carry on with yours.
Right. Okay. Where did I get to? Fossil hunting in Whitby. Yes. Sean McKean. That was the last one, wasn't it? There is one where I go around down 199 steps, back our Scar to Saltic. And there's another one where I go further down near Boglall and go and see all the seals. There's 2 on there. Pat O'Malley, this was an unusual one. He says, if you didn't do what you do now, what would you be doing? There's been a couple of times in my life when I've had a career where I've kind of thought I could do this quite happily. I used to be a fisheries officer. I used to be a fisherman. I've done ever so many different jobs. Did a little bit of time working with like Yorkshire National Trust, working like building fences and coastal paths and that. Then when I was in the Navy, I was an aeronautical engineer. I could have quite happily done that. It just never truly found me fit. There's a few things I did want to when I was a kid. I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to be David Attenborough. Like when all the kids were like, "Oh, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a footballer." I was that really cool kid that sat in corner that was like eating bugs, saying, "Oh, I want to be David Attenborough." So yeah, I guess this is just me trying to live that. I don't know. I don't really care. So long as I was happy and we're doing what we love. Yeah. A fishing officer in Northumberland got beaten up in a van in a few months. Yeah, we used to have a lot of trouble with it actually when we were inspecting people up in Sunderland and Newcastle. We used to have to wear stab vests. It's a different world to Cornwall. There was one instance where I can't tell you too much about it because it ended up in a criminal investigation, because we went out to inspect someone, myself and another officer, and two people jumped in a car and drove at us, and I dived out of the way, did like a swan dive over like a load of barrels, and my mate, the other officer, went up the bonnet and went into the windscreen, and he was hanging onto the bonnet, and they drove off down Hartlepool High Street with him on it. So yeah, it was a different world up there. All over a couple of small lobsters. Paul, are you seeing more fish from the warmer climates than 5, 10, 15 years ago? This is a common misconception about the global warming and the seas getting warmer and all that stuff. The seas work on like an 80-year cycle of warming and cooling. We're on the warming cycle now. As for, someone was asking me, I think it's on one of these questions about, I know it off the top of my head, I won't go back to it. He was saying, have you noticed that there's been a decline in mackerel this year because of the warmer temperatures, which has brought more predatory fishing like sharks? And I was just saying, that's a nice theory, but you need to just look at the numbers. Do you honestly think, considering the amount of mackerel, like biomass of the millions of tons of mackerel are in the sea, that a few extra sharks would put them off? And the sea rising by 2 degrees, no, you get mackerel in Mediterranean where it's 5 degrees warmer than here. That's not it. Look at how much fish gets taken out by one haul of a pelagic trawler or one of those massive super trawlers. That's why there's no fish, because they've been caught. It's got nothing to do with the predatory fish species. Yeah, it is nice to see that we're getting more big fish. I did, and I'm 99% sure, the more I think about it, I saw a billfish this year. I saw it jumping out of water. Now, it was at distance, but I've seen them before. I've seen them in Africa. It was some form of marlin or sailfish. Incredible, isn't it? Kay Davis, best lure for bass and slow jigs for pollock. There are videos on the channel both for shore fishing and boat fishing for bass with lures. Now, they'll just, yeah, that'll show you them working. And also there is a recent video for slow jigging specifically for pollock. It's about like 5 videos back. I'm holding a coalfish and a pollock on thumbnail. So if you're looking for what types of slow jigs to use on a boat, I'll cover them in that. If you're looking for what type of lures to use for bass from the boat and the shore, there are videos for that on the channel. Look for the shore fishing videos, look in the shore fishing playlist. For the boat fishing videos, look in the boat fishing playlist. Martin Tatton, thanks for all the adventures. What would be the ultimate FishLocker family fishing trip, no expense spared, and anywhere in the world? I don't know, we've talked about this. We are going to go to Norway at some point, just because it's amazing. We're going to go to Alaska at some point.
We're going to Canada.
But I don't know. There's a lad that we know called Kieran, who's over in Panama at the minute, and he's got some amazing fishing over there. The Maldives, the world is your oyster, literally. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind. Just so long as we're together and we're enjoying ourselves. Greg Crane, for good coastal foraging, what are the best signs to look out for on the beach? I cover this in almost every single foraging video right at the beginning. If you're ever a new place and you want to find out what's living in that area, what you can collect, look at the high tide line. That is where everything ends up. All of the things that live in that area that they die, like, or they get eaten by birds or crabs or whatever, the shells will end up on the high tide line. So if you walk along the high tide line and you have a look and you find limpet shells, mussel shells, scallop shells, cockle shells, crab shells, anything like that, you will find it on the high tide line. That will tell you what's out at sea. That is best. That's the best way. Robo677, have you ever fished the River Mersey? Right, I said I was going to come to this. There is a channel called Perch Rock Fishing. He's made a donation to this channel just on this feed here. If you scroll back through, his thumbnail is like a drawing of, I think it's a conger eel by a lighthouse. He specialises in videos on the Mersey, so he would be a perfect guy to speak to. That's Perch Rock Fishing. I have fished on the Mersey a couple of times. I fished it twice in a competition, shore fishing competition for the Navy. We fished right down on the end by the light and Town Hall steps. So yeah, it's not the same type of fishing that we do here. Very, very coloured water up there. Robert Willows, amazing mate, thank you very much. We'll keep it up for as long as we can. The Mersey is, on a good day, it is very dirty. So it's very different type of fishing, more with smelly baits. Whereas down here, there's an awful lot of sight fishing goes in. Just horses for courses. Yeah. If you're fishing for cod, they're doing well for cod at the moment, actually. There are a couple of rig videos that I've got on the FishLocker Workshop channel, like my pulley dropper or my pulley rig. Well, would work perfectly. And baits I would recommend would be your standards, squid and blacks, peeler crabs, bluey, carp, not so much there. Carp is more of a cod bait for rough ground. But yeah, the world's your oyster with that as well. Getting on to the Facebook questions. These are all questions that I've already been asked. Right, Kelvin Brown. How far on your hot mate? We've already answered that. Tips. Stephen McNally. Tips for first-time boat owners. There are videos on the FishLocker channel. There is one that's Small Boat Owner's Guide to Buying a Boat. That will tell you all the things that kind of you need to consider when you're buying a boat. If you've already got a boat, there is safety tips for small boat owners. Shows you what safety equipment I have and what extra equipment like paddles and ropes and life jackets and coats and petrol cans, spanners, all that type of stuff, all the stuff that I keep. It also shows you basic use of a VHF. In a couple of the other videos I show like how to start your engine, that type of stuff. I would recommend, and I do recommend to all people who are starting out on a small boat, if it's your first boat, do an RYA Powerboat Level 2 course. That is an amazing foundation level course. It's really easy to pick up. They don't go into anything that you can't learn, and it's a great foundation to build on, to build your boating knowledge on. They are expensive. You do them in a couple of days. Godfrey Byrne, do you use a fish finder? Yes. There is a video, I've already referenced it. There is a video on the FishLocker channel showing you how to use the GPS and fish finder. They are a fantastic piece of kit. Aaron Woodford, is there an app for identifying good fishing spots in Cornwall? No, there isn't. This is another one of those where it is purely down to you doing the legwork. You can use things like Google Maps, you can use things like Navionics. They won't show you, they won't tell you that they won't look on a map and go, good fishing mark here. You need to have in your own mind a criteria. And the criteria would be dependent on the species you want to catch. Mike Otley, thank you very much, mate. It's good to see you again. And Mike's one of our patrons. We spend a lot of time talking to him.
Did you see that one?
Yes, I did. For anyone who's not already aware, we do have a Patreon. That is a private forum where people can support the channel, and it also I give them a few behind the scenes stuff that I can't post on YouTube. Possibly, maybe if it's a small clip, it's not enough for a video. I ask questions if I'm thinking about possible upcoming videos. I'll ask them what they think. Use polls. Also, they get to see the videos before everybody else. I upload them there a day early, so they get to see it before I do. So sometimes if you guys are trying to get there and trying to be the first person to comment, you sometimes miss out to a patron because they've already been on there and commented. There is a link to our Patreon in all of the descriptions of the videos.
Oh my god, this guy.
Which one?
He must have posted this about 20 times and then I keep losing my place. He wants you to say hello to his wife and he's shouting now using caps locks.
Right, mate, I'll get to you. Just
we've got it written down.
Chill out.
You don't need to keep repeating it.
It's difficult to keep on top of whether
the more he
messages
comments, and he keeps making everyone else try to say it.
Yeah,
so
RNS,
I can't
yeah.
even find the question.
Just like the tequila. Apps. There are apps that can help you out, but you will not get all the information you need from one app. You need to go out there and you need to find it. John, thank you very much for the donation. I've got a couple of lobsters. I've got a couple of lobsters waiting for you, mate. Just let me know where to send them. Finally, Erin Sherwood sent me a message. You have your settings set on your Facebook so that I can't reply. If you want to have a chat about it, change your settings and then send me another message and I'll reply. Right. Any particular order you want me to go through? What's that?
It's my favourite London family. It's someone from Texas. It's because they don't know anywhere else exists in the UK.
Yeah, I've spent quite a bit of time working with Americans and working in America, and they're all. I think it's just because the UK is so small in comparison. They're like, "Oh, you're from the UK. I met a guy in Manchester once. You must know him." It's like some of them think that there's only 5 blokes here. It's when I explain to them that I can drive from one end of the country to the other in like 5-6 hours, and they're like, "All right, I can't drive across my state in 6 hours." It's incredible. PJ Taste, James and Tracy, you rescued them names. All right, yeah. Good to see you. They comment quite a bit. As I told one of the local boys in lately. Yeah, one of the things I'm glad that people picked up on that as well is it is kind of like an unwritten rule that for all like fishermen might bicker and not everybody's your mate all the time. If anybody is ever in trouble on the water, you help out. Just the way it goes. I would hate for myself to be in that position and have someone just steam past me, because it's never a good position to be in. If you ever do see anybody that is in bother, just try and help out. Ryan, it was great to see you at St Agnes. Are you sure it was me? St Agnes? When was I in St Agnes?
Is that where you picked Tony up from?
Tony Hill.
The lobster.
Right, okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought you meant like Tony Portis or somebody. Mally Sea Angler. This is why Hannah's in charge of like all the paperwork and things like that, because things just go in one ear and straight out.
Right, you've got 10 minutes left. Oh, am I writing any more down? Because you've got
Right.
2 pages to go
10 minutes.
through.
Right, we've just missed one there. I only want to know, I've given back a question. You mentioned the Navy, maybe share good stories in the future. I haven't really got any good stories from the Navy. I was just a boring person. And also, quite a lot of the stories aren't suitable for YouTube. Read into that what you think. Have you ever eaten shark? Yes, we have a dogfish catch and cook on the channel. As far as things like blue sharks or Paul Beagle sharks, no, I haven't. Gavin McNamara already done that. John Donaghy, he wants to buy the boat. When it comes up for sale, I will let you know. Flatbait, have you ever targeted turbot? We don't really get turbot around here. We catch some small ones from the shore, but they're only like the size of your hand. They've been overfished. When I go on a road trip, I am going to meet up with one of my friends further down near the banks, and we will go and try and smash some turbots. Jeremy, is there any point fishing with lures for bass in cloudy water? Yes, although think about the lure. Not only the colour, but you can get lures that vibrate in a different way or have a rattle in them. You can catch lures and catch bass on lures at night, and they just hit the movement. So yeah, there is every point. It won't be as good as when it's clearer, but you will still catch. How do you winterize your boat engine? I use my boat all the time, so I haven't gone down the road of winterizing. Del Mac has made 2 of our crab pots in the Western Isles of Scotland. Brilliant, mate. I've had quite a few people sending me pictures of the pots we've been making. That's fantastic. Don't forget, if you are going to be making your own crab pots, you need to check to see what the legislations are for your local area about shooting crab pots as like a pleasure angler. Chances are you might need a recreational license. Usually they're free, and all they do is they give you a tag and you've got to put it on your pot. So if the fisheries come along and they see a pot that's got a tag on, they know that it belongs to a legitimate person. ADZ, have you ever seen orcas? No, we don't. And we haven't seen them down here. They get them sometimes on the north coast and around Wales and Ireland and that. Up in Scotland, I would love to. I would absolutely love to see some orcas. I think I would like to see them when I'm in a big boat. In my boat, it might make me a little bit wary. But yeah, they're incredible, aren't they? Amazing. David Crow, I look about 25. Me or you?
Me.
Right, okay. Perch rock fishing. Have you ever caught a ling from the shore? Yes, I have, but it was only about like that big. There was a mate of mine, he's been in quite a few of the videos, called Tom Rowe. He'd was fishing a markham in Scotland, and he sent me a picture. He was like, oh mate, I'm buzzing, I've just caught my first ling. And it was like £3, and that was the day when I'd caught that 39 pounder. And I was like, mate, I'm sorry, I don't mean to pour water on your barbecue or anything, but look at this one. Yeah, I have, but not a big one. My PB's like £2. Is that Brian? Brien. Thinking of visiting UK when COVID is gone, where would you recommend not tourist spots? Right. My opinion and my advice that I give to people that want to visit the UK is I say you will probably find you will enjoy yourself more if you visit the places that aren't as heavily populated. And yeah, London's great for seeing.
That's what he said. He wants to avoid the usual tourist
Yeah, it's
spots.
good for seeing like Big Ben and the London Eye and all that sort of stuff and the Buckingham Palace. But me personally, I would say visit Cornwall, visit Yorkshire, like Yorkshire Moors, Yorkshire Coast, visit Lake District, Scotland as well. Yeah, it's fantastic. If you're into more like your outdoor scenes, I would say saying that Brecon Beacons in Wales is nice. Yeah, just avoid heavily populated areas. Cornwall, Yorkshire Dales, Lake District, Brecon Beacons, anywhere up in Scotland in the Highlands, around the locks. Right, that's that one done. Can we still fish for mackerel? That's a very open question. I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, if there's mackerel there, you can fish for them. Here in Cornwall, some of our best mackerel fishing is in the winter. And it's better than the sun sometimes. Do you know when are you going to Portsmouth to teach them how to catch 20-pound bass? Some things, some lessons I aren't going to share. What do we do for jobs? My beautiful wife and I, we are, what would you say we are? It's not brand ambassadors, is it, for Avon?
Kind of.
Yeah, we are consultants for a health, wellness and beauty company where we, I don't know, you explain it better than I do.
It's just an online health and wellness company. So we share and recommend products. That's the train. Sorry, I thought there was someone pulling up outside. Yeah. Basically,
And
developing our own team.
I occasionally do a little bit of fishing, like working on charter boats, or occasionally when
I
there's.
thought you were saying that as a joke then.
I'm just that dry, you didn't get it. Jamie, oh, that's the can you show me my low books? Right, there is a John Dory t-shirt already on the T-Mill site for anybody who's not sure. What soap does John recommend? If anybody's interested in what we actually do or any of the products that we use and recommend, contact Hannah on her Instagram, which is @LockerHannah. That way, there's that many messages that come to the FishLocker. I don't want any of you to get lost. We will devote special time to that. So you're better off contacting Hannah on Instagram, which is @LockerHannah. Matthew, do you keep me up all night talking about fishing? Do I keep you up all night talking about fishing? No. She just switches. She just switches off. Are you going to come back here because you're right on the hardly?
I'm done now. I'm not
looking
writing any more down because you've only
No,
got
I'm on
4
about
minutes
you're the best looking one and you're on the corner. The Norseman. That is a lovely little unicorn. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was talking to him earlier on. I would trade 100 bullets for one wolffish. So if you can send any of them down my way, that'd be great. The person who was just asked that again about dropping the soap in the shower when I'm in the Navy, that isn't military humour. Military humour is funny. Any plans to collab, go fishing with other YouTubers? Yes. Yeah, oh,
You already did that
Motlab,
one.
yes, sorry. Leon has been fishing between Rinsey and the Lizard. You know where he means. Yeah. Using up and overs, would you use a pulley instead? There are videos on the channel from that area in particular that you're talking about. go and have a look because I'll show the rigs in the videos. Say hi to Ruth Glover. He is spamming asking if I'll keep using right. As we've said before, we'll get to you. Just give it a chance. Jace Hargraves, top channel. I missed most of this though. Right, don't worry, mate, because all I'll do is if you can scroll back. Oh, hello, James. Right. Do you want to come here and say hello to everyone first? James is in his school uniform, PE kit. Right. Say hello. You go and enjoy yourself. Oh, bathroom visit coming up. Yeah. If you want your comment to be flagged, so we definitely see it, that's what the super stickers, that's what that's what you see people doing. That means that we definitely won't miss it. For anybody else, we'll try our very best to get to the comments. Hannah has been writing them all down. Don't go mad, because all it does is it just knocks the feed up too fast, and we can't get to other people's questions. So Ruth Glover, hello, how's it going? What was that? Loved the Bullets video yesterday, John. But the drone that I use is a Mavic. Send me a message and I'll send you a link to the exact one. Cornish 89, why is it there seems to be more super trawlers? This is one of those things where I don't want to get too political because I guess my opinion won't be the same as everybody else's, but just look at it this way. Look at Brexit. If you were told that you could only pick apples from a tree up until the end of this year, would you go and pick as many apples as you could while you had the opportunity to? That quite likely is what's happening. James Park, thank you very much for the donation. Thank you. It's for everybody who has made donations tonight and super stickers and that type of thing. Really, it is amazing. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And for all the people who've made donations towards the boat fund and the road trip, that's amazing. Yeah, I've been saving for quite a while. I've been saving pretty much since I bought the last boat. It's going to be a big undertaking, so I'm going to have to put an awful lot of thought into it about what boat I get. But we will try and take you on that journey with us. You all right? You want to come and see everyone? Hmm? Yeah, there you are on that screen.
I'm there.
What did we do the other day with that big lobster? Where did we go and see him?
The hatchery.
Yeah, how big was he?
He was about this big.
He was massive, wasn't he? And how big were the baby ones?
About this big.
They were cute,
About
weren't
this
they?
big, weren't they?
Yeah.
And what was your favourite one there? You saw a sponge crab as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
On the last live, everyone sent some money for James to get some Lego, so he wanted to say thank you, didn't he?
What Legos did you get? Did you tell everybody?
That's right, the weather set.
Jurassic
World Lego set. Right. Go on then, down you get. Enjoy yourself. So for everybody from the last live, thank you very much. James has really enjoyed that, and I've really enjoyed standing right in bare feet. Any advice for keeping live prawns on the hook? Depends what type of hook. I've shown in one of my early bass fishing videos where I bass fish from the shore with live prawn, and I show a couple of different ways. I'll come to that in a second. I've seen that. I show a couple of different ways of hooking live prawns on. One of them where you hook it so it's the whole prawn and you just lash the tail, and another one where you hook it like on a circle hook. There are different ways. The Norseman.
Someone else said that they wanted you to buy a fly rod.
I have actually.
You went practicing, didn't you?
I have been donated a fly rod by. Well, I'll tell you. I was gonna share it all with you in the video. A guy called Robbie was very kind enough to say, right, well, I've got a fly rod and I'm not using it. You use it. We haven't had a chance of getting out and using it yet on the boat, but I am definitely going to catch a bass, a pollock, and a mackerel on it.
Were you in St Ives today? I was fishing on the pier, and I live and fish around St Ives.
Yes, we were in St Ives today. For people that haven't followed the Instagram story, we went to St Ives today. We had a nice little walk about the cake. Nice little walk about the cake. Nice little walk about the place. But the biggest disappointment, and I'm still wounded about it, was we got a sandwich and we thought it'd be nice here. We'll just get ourselves like a nice cake, like a cream cake or this and that. Don't buy cakes.
It was so bad.
Don't buy
Like,
cakes
so
in
bad,
St. Ives.
though. Like, we'll eat pretty much.
No, well, actually, I love my food. I'll eat pretty much anything. Hannah and our daughter have even caught me eating food out of the bin before.
Don't tell people that.
Not other people's bins, my bin.
If I throw something away, because I don't think it's... If we've
No,
kept it too long, he'll get it out the bin.
It wasn't those situations. It's where, like, when we've finished tea and there's been, like, James has left a load of chips and Hannah's scraped them into the bin and I'll pick them back out and eat them. So that shows you what I'll eat. The first cake, I took one bite out of it, I was like, nah, that's going for a seagull. So I thought I will try this different place. Went further down, and is it called Yellow Canary or something like that?
Yeah. Oh my god, it was vile. Like,
They properly mugged me.
I don't think I've ever had something where I'm like, that is disgusting. But
£5.60 for 2 cakes that were about that big. One of them was a custard tart and one of them was a lemon meringue pie. And I'm not joking, it was 2/3 pastry. It was sloppy. I took the first bite of it. I let Hannah have some. She did the same thing. I kept my face straight. And I was like, "Oh, do you want to try some?" As soon as she got it, I was like, "It's horrible, isn't it?" Fed that one to a crow. Tried the other one. Took one bite. The only time that I have ever spat out a cake was that one. And I just chucked it down the
I
drain.
don't even know. It tasted. I don't know if it was gone off.
It just, honestly, not only did it look like someone had punched it, but it just tasted disgusting. Thomas Holland, SEC. I don't know what currency that is. But thank you very much.
That last time.
What? No.
About the currency. There was a currency that we were like, what's that?
Am I missing one thing? Right.
Harbour Fish and Chips in St Ives. Yeah, well, there wasn't anywhere open, was there?
We got a sandwich from a spot right down the front. There was a guy that was out fishing, and he's just mentioned, yeah, we had a lovely time walking about on the beach. Had a little play with the drone. Had a walk around the headland. What's the best ground for thornbacks? Soft ground. That is Barra FC. There are a couple of fishing videos on the channel, both shore and boat, fishing for thornback rays.
Someone wants us to go pike fishing.
One of them, I show a bit of underwater footage that shows you what the seabed's like. Who wants us to go pike fishing?
I've been chewing John's ear off for the last 2 days about taking me pike fishing. And then you said the other night you were going to go on your own.
It's only because if I took you, you'd catch rockfish. John, if you come down to Devon, I'll put you on some big rainbow trout. Right, mate? Yeah, I will. I'll remember about that. SEC Swedish krona, right. Pike fishing, yeah. Pike fishing will definitely... I've got a little video where I do a little bit of live baiting on my friend's lake. But yeah, we might do a little bit of river stuff, a bit of canal stuff, lure fishing. I love live baiting, but not an awful lot of places allow you to live bait. It is a very nice jumper, isn't it?
You can buy it from the T-Mill store.
For anybody catching up now, the link for the T-Mill store, which is the clothing, which is the t-shirt that I'm wearing and the jumper that Hannah's wearing. James has also got some hoodies. It's in the description for all of the videos, and it's pinned on top of the FishLocker Facebook page. Byron Newman, always great content. Come summer, get yourself down the Solent after the stingers. I am going to.
Yeah, you've never caught one, have you?
No, well that was it. The only ray that we have in the UK that I haven't caught so far now after I ticked off that undulate is a stinger. We don't get the stingers down here, and I'm definitely going to go down and make a dedicated effort. We might even do like a couple of overnighters if I'm going to be driving down that distance.
I don't think they do glow in the dark.
No, they don't. I did ask the company if they do that, but
it's because it's the sustainability, wasn't it?
The reason why we chose the company that we're with is because they're very hot on sustainability and renewable sources for the clothing. Like say for instance, these ones, if you get your wear out of them, you can send them back to the company, and you'll get money off your next one, like you used to do with your milk bottles. The chemicals that they have to use in the print to make it glow in the dark is harmful for the environment, so they don't go down that route.
James does have a glow in the dark jellyfish t-shirt that we got from Jules.
Right. One other thing, now we're mentioning actually clothing, and I'll put a post up on the FishLocker Facebook page. T-Mill don't do hoodies or t-shirts for the anglers on the larger side of life, shall I say.
Above 2XL, isn't
right.
it?
And I know that a lot of anglers are that way inclined. What I'm going to do is, for the Christmas order, I will put a post up in the next couple of days, probably Friday. If there is anybody who wants a larger size hoodie, like the old standard style, just a navy blue or a black or a grey with FishLocker across the back, I will put a one-off order in.
Only if it's over 2XL.
Yeah, if it's over 2XL. Craig Vickery, sent you an updated picture of Tony the Mobster Lobster on Facebook. Right, mate, yeah, he did. For people who want to go on there and see it, if you go onto the FishLocker Facebook page and look at visitors' posts, he's posted that there. So yeah, Tony's already seen visitors. That's amazing. I'm looking forward to going back there and seeing him when he's grown his claw back.
I need to get there hoping he's going to shed soon, aren't they?
Yeah, well, he's got that much growth on his shell. He's going to end up shedding soon. I was talking to Ben actually, and he said, given a lobster of that size, the next time he sheds, he's probably going to increase by like 15 to 20%. I mean, how amazing is that? He's going to be climbing out of that tank before long. John Dory in a Christmas hat for the festive season. All right, yeah, okay. If anybody's got any designs that you think might work, draw them down, send me a private message on the
I'd like to
FishLocker
see that
Facebook page.
picture.
Yeah.
Right, you've gone 10 minutes over.
Have you ever seen any sunfish? That was from
In Cornwall.
Nigel. Yes, we get lots of them down here. I've even got I fished one out one time in a landing net, and it weighed about 40 pounds. I've got a photo of it. They are monstrous. The only thing with them is they're solid, and I've got these 2-git fins. And when I was holding it for a photo, if you can imagine, it's round like that, and it's got one fin on top and one fin on the bottom, and you're holding it like that. When one of them slaps you in the face, the other one slaps you somewhere else. They aren't an easy fish to hold. Brucey, that's quite funny.
Quite a few people have commented on mackerel fishing and wondering how you're still catching mackerel. They thought they migrated.
No, we get 2 runs of mackerel down here in Cornwall. We get a summer run, which is generally a smaller fish. We get a winter run along in with the pilchards, where you do get your bigger mackerel. In fact, there's only maybe 2 or 3 months of the year when you can't catch mackerel down here consistently, and that's like February, March and April. For everybody else, if you want a question answered in the next 30 seconds, you're going to have to make it quick. Right, Martin G, foul catch for seafood deliveries. Yes, if you contact them on their website, they do deliver to the
We've got
local
fully
area.
like refrigerated and the tank.
It says
mobile
Super Chat's not
tanks.
working.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say about that one. If
It's still on.
yeah, if people are finding the Super Chat or the Super Stickers aren't working, I'm sorry for that. I don't know what to do. We're going to have to wrap this up now because we've already been 7 minutes longer than I promised that we would be. If you have asked a question and we haven't got to it, then I'm sorry, but as you can see, there's just been that many. It's at any one point in time, there's been like 600 or 700 people on here. I will answer as many as I can. If you want a question to be asked, send me a private message on the FishLocker Facebook page or the Instagram. One of the final things that I will actually mention, and I should have mentioned this earlier, I was going through the analytics of the YouTube channel, and they were saying that a lot of people have been contacting me to say that they haven't been receiving notifications of the videos. What you need to make sure is you need to make sure that you're fully subscribed to the channel. If you look, our channel has got 160,000 subscribers. We're receiving over like 1.2 million views a month. 20% of our views are from subscribers. That shows you how many people are watching it, and they're watching it week on week, and you aren't actually subscribed. You're just watching it in your recommended feed. If you subscribe to the channel, and that means when the video comes up, Andrew Bartlett, right, they are still working then. Thank you very much for that, mate. If you are watching it on your laptop, there will be a little icon at the bottom. No, where am I looking? It's down there. I'm pointing at it now, right over here.
Oh yeah.
You
Not
can click
actually
on
there.
you can click on that, and that'll take you to subscribe. And when you've subscribed, then click all notifications. If you are watching it on the TV, you can scroll down, and it will tell you what. There'll be like a little icon in the bottom corner, a round circle, and it's me holding a bass. If you click on that, you can subscribe. If you're watching it on your phone, flick down into the description, and you can subscribe. You need to subscribe to the channel, and then click all notifications. That way, every time a video comes up, you won't have to wait for it to turn up on a feed. You can see it on your subscriptions feed, and you can see it on your notifications. That's it. So you need to subscribe and click the notification bell for all notifications. That way you won't miss any. All the best. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you again to anybody who's contributed to the channel through the super stickers. I think that's Darish. I've seen quite a few comments from you lately. Thank you very much, mate, for interacting. Yeah, anybody that's contributed from the super stickers, from the super chat, or the patrons to the channel. I cannot thank them enough. It's amazing. Humbling is what it is. Thank you again. All the best. James, do you want to come here a second? We'll get the main man in to say goodbye. John, have you thought about creating coastal curriculum for kids? Yes, we have, and we are actually talking to James's school about doing something like that. The only problem is, as you can imagine with anywhere, it's that much red tape. What do we say when we say goodbye?
Bye from the FishLocker.
Bye from the FishLocker.
And I don't run away.
Go on, run away, run away. Ah!